Nisei Ghost is a very real thing. I have an idea of who it actually is, but certain things happen here, and we attribute it to the Nisei Ghost. Like when we first reopened after quarantine, which is why that plexiglass is still there, because again, storage for days. But when we first reopened after quarantine, we were doing table service, and one thing we pride ourselves on, if you're gonna come in here and drink, you gotta bring your happy ass to the bar. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got no servers, we ain't got no fucking waiters or waitresses, right? Yeah. But we were doing table service, and that included the patio. And I was absolutely flooded because Cubs are back, people were happy to be outside. And I'm flooded, and I kind of lost track of one huge order that I took on the patio. And I was just like, what the fuck was I looking for? And the Nisei Ghost slammed the door, the cooler door shut. I shit you not. Slammed the cooler door shut, and in that very moment, I realized that I was looking for a White Claw lime. And I literally just looked up, was like, thanks, Nisei Ghost. Kept chugging, you know what I'm saying? Nisei Ghost is a very real thing. Like, the doors will randomly open and close. The jukebox will turn itself off and on. And we all attribute that to the Nisei Ghost, who is a very, very kind, polite individual. So, like, it's not one of those, you know, you're going to have nightmares, you're getting tormented. No, the Nisei Ghost is pretty chill. Every now and again, he'll slap a glass off the fucking, off the kegerator and break something to let you know that he's slightly annoyed. You know, it is what it is. Like, this is the nuance in Nisei. This place has so many stories, which is what happens when you've been open for 72 years?
1951.
Pause on that. Yo! Welcome to Beers and Bars.
Your place for rapid fire hip hop discussion and, of course, great beer.
And come on, kiddo.
OT the Golden Child, man. I feel like we already had started.
Right, it's all good.
No, man. Thank y'all for checking out our last episode, man. Shout out to ADP hosting us at his crib, man.
Oh, yeah.
We are here. We back outside, boys. Back outside, boys. You know what I'm saying? We're definitely trying to get back out here like we used to pre-quarantine. And Jay, is this your first time on the show in person? No, because Haymarket, when we did the Super Bowl joint in 2022.
Correct.
But the first time having Jay on was a couple years back. Right. We were speaking with him because he had the collaboration joint with Sam, which was the Harold's 83 Honey Ale. So
that seemed like so long ago, man.
Don't
That's
it?
Crazy.
Don't it?
Many moons ago.
Literally like 2 years ago.
Jat Westbrook, everybody. Jat Westbrook back in the building. We're here at Nisei Lounge today.
The surly confines of Nisei Lounge. Welcome in, y'all.
I love it, man.
Before we get into your beer, what we're drinking right now, tell us a little bit about Nisei Lounge. You told us a little bit about the Nisei Ghost. Mm-hmm. Do you know who the Nisei Ghost is?
I have an idea of who it is. I won't name names out of respect for that human and the humans that loved him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, there is an actual Nisei Ghost. But you know, Nisei's been around since 1951. It was originally born at 1238 North Clark Street, so Clark and Division, where shenanigans and all those shenanigans go on now these days. But moved up here to Lakeview East. I'm very passionate about not calling this neighborhood Wrigleyville, because that's not a real place. Lakeview East is this neighborhood. Yeah. But moved up to Lakeview East in the mid 70s and has been here rocking ever since as a day baseball bar. Let's go ahead and get that out the way. This is not a fucking Cubs bar. This is a day baseball bar. There's a whole flag back there. We don't care what flavor the day baseball is, as long as it's not the goddamn Cardinals. But this is not a Cubs bar.
Because we don't like St. Louis.
Nope. Nobody likes St. Louis. People from St. Louis don't even like St. Louis.
Yeah. So when we were talking about the show, I said we had to do it here for a lot of the reasons that you just named. Anybody who I've known who is from the North Side and talks about North Side, you know, whether it be the Cubs, whatever the case may be, if you're in the area, they say, yeah, you got to stop at Nisei because of its legendary history and whatnot. So, yeah, man.
Yeah, so how long have you been here?
I've been here off and on for about 6 years. I started off originally as a favor to a good friend of mine who used to work here. The motherfucker got me hired here and then quit. Son of a bitch. Fuck you, Doug. But started off as a doorman because of the year after the Cubs won the World Series because, I mean, you know, fandom was at a fever pitch and they needed help on the door. And so my buddy was like, I know you're in the industry now. You know, you want to come over and make some extra scratch, you know, checking IDs? I was like, cool. And it just became a thing. And as I was finding my footing in the industry, I realized that I'm not a doorman, which is why the Black Beer Baron motto is, we're not just here to check IDs at the door, we're here to kick them down, right? Like I said that to the owner when I quit, which was during the Cubs home opener in 2019.
So you worked here and then you quit.
And I quit, and somehow I ended up with keys and security codes, and basically de facto bar dad. Let the young Padawan over there, Katie, tell it. You know what I'm saying?
Wow,
Yeah, man.
that's crazy. So you quit and then came back.
No, I just felt like my talents were being misused. I'm not
Yeah.
a doorman. You know what I'm saying? I had so much to bring to the table, and I finally had gotten that understanding that I was much more than just an employee.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes you got to shake the table for people to understand where you're coming from. And luckily for me, Internet Granddad honored it, you know. And you know, there were some hard feelings for about 6 to 8 months where I didn't get the employee discount, didn't really come around. Motherfuckers was mad, and I get it because I didn't really handle it well, right? I quit on the spot during a home opener.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
So, you know, my thing was like, you know, we're gonna get past that, and eventually they needed a favor, and I was available, and we've been rocking ever since. This place gets on my goddamn nerves, but it's my bar. It's allowed to get. It's like family. My family annoys the shit out of you more often than not, but that's still family. You don't get to choose that.
Absolutely.
So speaking of you talking about this being your bar, off camera you mentioned not many bartenders have their own beer on tap.
No.
And this is on tap right now, and this is your beer. Tell us about what we're drinking right now.
Well, this is my latest collaboration with the homies from Sketchbook. Shouts to Papa Eric, Dan Floyd, Caesar, Amy.
Sketchbook Cup. I
Brad.
didn't even notice. I didn't even notice.
Come on, man. I'm intentional, baby. I'm sincere. I'm deliberate. I'm intentional. Everything happens for a reason. I'm not.
True.
To quote Dave Chappelle as Rick James, I'm not just out here doing shit just to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everything has meaning, everything has a purpose, and I feel like that's how we should live our lives. But this is Funkin for Jamaica. This is a 6.5% tropical stout that we did. Tropical stout. What we wanted to do was kind of shine a light on a rarely discussed style of beer. So tropical stout, formerly known as foreign export stouts. If you're familiar with it, you're more than likely familiar with Guinness Premier.
Yes.
But what happened was foreign export stouts, they would come over from Europe to the Caribbean, and then as people started to brew down in the Caribbean, they didn't have access to barley and flake maize and all these grains. So what they used to brew beer were molasses, blackstrap molasses, and molasses-based ingredients like brown sugar. In this incarnation, we used brown cane sugar, also known as Pioncillo sugar. Very dense, usually comes in a cone. Very dense, very, you know, very like malt forward kind of sugar. Yeah. And we use that to, you know, kind of express that roasted, you know, coffee, almost chocolatey note that you're getting. See, Kamal over here loving this shit, man. Hey, but you know it's still early, right?
I know, right?
And again, it's 6.5%.
That's true. That's true. Let me slow down a little bit. But I do want to say that it doesn't taste as heavy as a lot of stouts normally are. I can taste the tropical notes as well as, I mean, it's lighter than a normal stout. And I see the coffee in it as well, but it's like an iced coffee. It's like light. It's lighter than a normal stout.
Yeah.
But I'm rocking with it though.
I think what I'm proudest of about this is that we were able to carry 6.5. We were able to carry those roasted chocolate and coffee notes. We were able to carry that Pioncillo sugar, but it's not heavily bodied. It's not going to overpower your palate. And the most important thing to me, not even as a bartender or a brewer, but as a beer connoisseur, you can absolutely taste your dinner while drinking this. It's not going to kill your palate. So being able to have all this body and all this complexity, but also be gone in 60 seconds, no Nick Cage, but like I'm really happy with this.
And how long, I know we probably talked about this before, but how long have you been brewing like this? I mean, because you are very refined in how the chemistry behind
The stories behind the beer.
right,
Yeah.
the beer making process. How long have you been doing this, man?
Well, I mean, when did we do Harold's 83 Honey first? That was March.
That was your first beer?
Yeah, we dropped that in March of 2020, like right when we all went into quarantine. So that's like, I tell people all the time, Harold's 83 Honey is the first beer I ever made. I've never homebrewed. Never wanted to homebrew. Still don't want to homebrew. And you know, I have friends that do that shit, and when I say do that shit, I'm not saying dismissively.
Yeah.
It's just not something I'm interested in. I always wanted to brew on a certain scale. But you know, I have friends that do that just to keep your knives sharp. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
You got to perfect your craft. I just feel like I can do that in a brew house as opposed to a basement or garage.
Now, go ahead.
How do you come up with these? So, how do you come up with these concepts? Because there's always a story. When does that story start? Because you just talked about, you know, the whole foreign export joint and, you know, the whole how it goes into the Caribbean countries. Where do you start the story? Like, all right, this is the beer, this is the why. Like, because this is not something you just do. Like, it takes time to come up with this shit. So
It does, but it doesn't, because inspiration, like, I mean, y'all both are artists, so y'all understand. But, you know, inspiration comes from the weirdest places. Like, I mean, truth be told, I mean, the origin story of Funkin for Jamaica actually starts here at Nisei Lounge. Quick story. I was cleaning aggressively because my coworkers frustrate the shit out of me sometimes, which is why I'm thankful I have access to whiskey and good beer here at Nisei Lounge, 3439 North Sheffield, by the way.
Absolutely.
But I was cleaning aggressively because my coworkers frustrated the shit out of me, and I jammed my thumb so hard that I tore a ligament in this thing. And I was in concert with the homies from Sketchbook, specifically the homie Frank Shepard, who was their sales guru over there. Just amazing human being, amazing spirit, just the fucking man. More of the man that I could ever be. But I texted him and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pitch y'all a beer called Frankie Four Fingers, because I was wearing a thumb sling based on Chicago's mayor twice removed, whose name I won't say, but yeah. Fuck that guy. Anyway, but when I went up to visit them in Sketchbook, Frank was like, you wanted to pitch us on a beer? I was like, dog, I was joking. Yeah. And so he was like, let's go up front. We sat down, we had a conversation, and we started going through the BJCP guidelines and the styles of beer, and we landed on Tropical Stout, and we were just having a conversation about that. And the inspiration, the name, obviously, shouts to Tom Brown, Funkin for Jamaica. Real ones know that song is actually not for Jamaica, the island. It's for Jamaica, Queens, and New York. Okay. But I'm not gonna let silly shit like the truth and reality get in the way of my creative process, right? Yeah. Because not everybody knew that, and somebody might have learned that just now. So we ended up with Funkin for Jamaica, and then we pitched it to Papa Eric, who is one of the OG writers of the Harold's 83 Honey recipe. And then he moved from Haymarket to Sketchbook, so that relationship has always been there. Yeah. Which is why my movement with Sketchbook it just seems so seamless, because Frank and Eric were at Haymarket and they were like my OGs in the game. So it's like, okay. So yeah, so that's where Funkin for Jamaica came from. This stupid ass bar here.
So the beer right now, you know, we're talking about it and whatnot. Obviously, you have the tapping of it at Monk's, right?
Yeah, that was this past Thursday, the 28th. It was an amazing event. Super grateful for Monk's and Melissa actually showing me that love, because they had Harold's 83 Honey on draft there and in cans. But just to pull up on them and with this concept, like we didn't even have beer for them to taste, and they're like, yeah, we're definitely down. Yeah. What day you want to do it? I'm like, damn. And, you know, starting to get that realization that, you know, Black Beer Baron tends to mean something to people, and people want to be down with that, and I'm eternally grateful for that shit.
Word up.
Word, man. Man, I appreciate you telling us about Nisei. Trying to get into some music, man.
Well, first, I want to just talk about anything else you have coming up, if you can allude to anything, you know, or is...
Nothing on the brew schedule proper because, again, I'm very sincere and deliberate in my movements. I'm not making beer just to make it. There has to be something extra to it.
Yeah.
But I will tell you that there are about 2 barrels of this beautiful beer currently residing in a Woodford Reserve Double Oak bourbon barrel that was then conditioned with Barbados rum. So we're going to talk about that. Well, 3 months from now, we'll be having this conversation here over that. And then we also have a very special variant of Harold's 83 Honey that's currently residing in Wolf Point bourbon barrels. And that's going to be called Punch 9. If you're familiar with Harold Washington and the story, you know what Punch 9 means. So it's just an extension of my affinity for Harold Washington and my love for the city. So I'm really in my like barrel aging bag right now because Sam Ross can't be the only Sullivan on the fucking team, right?
Hey.
Let me ask before we do get into music, how do you decide where you're going to brew? How do you decide?
I think it's definitely
You're a
one of
free agent.
exactly. It's one of the perks of being independent.
Yeah.
I can go where I want and work with who I want. I don't have to ask permission.
Yeah.
You know, I don't. And I'm grateful for friends in industry that very rarely utters the word no to me. Like every beer I've pitched, well, except for a few, have actually come to market. You know what I'm saying? And I've been able to give that to y'all, and that's what I want to do. It ain't got shit to do with me. It's deeper than rap. You know what I'm saying? True. I want y'all to have a good time. I want y'all, I am literally the senior vice president of keeping the beer cold and the CEO of making sure the homies ain't out here thirsty. That matters to me. What y'all got in y'all glass matters to me.
Yeah.
Just to talk a little beer business, how do you decide if you're going to put a beer in a can or just keep it on tap?
Well, the reality is a lot of beer, well, most beers that are made don't end up in cans and or bottles because packaging, that's where the costs skyrocket.
Yep. True.
Now this very small batch, only like 8 1/4 barrels made, very small, limited release. And that's how most beers are made, but that's also showing proof of concept. So with the reaction that I'm starting to get behind this, I have no doubts in my mind eventually this is going to see canning. But generally, we try to avoid packaging things unless we have that proof of concept locked in.
Right.
Okay.
Got you.
Do some music.
Music, man.
First of all, a lot dropped this weekend. You won't
Yeah.
see it on this show. We're going to go retroactively to last weekend mostly with just one album. Well, we're going to do 2 singles that dropped, but one album we are reviewing is from Femc. Let me stop using that word. She's an MC, right? She's a rapper.
MC.
Cat got bars,
we always
bro.
gotta say,
Cat got bars,
female rapper,
bro.
right?
Cat
So,
nice.
Yikes.
Doja
Yeah,
Cat,
man. Doja Cat, man.
They might not want to admit it, but Cat nice.
She is, man. Doja's nice, man. And she's been nice.
Yeah.
She's been nice.
It has always been nice. Lady broke into the industry with a song called Moo. She was dressed as a goddamn cow.
Yeah.
Right?
I love that song, man.
And as much as
quote
we
that
didn't
all the
take it
time.
seriously, you can't dismiss that level of artistry.
Let me
Yeah.
just say, this Malort is setting in. I'm kind of feeling
It
it.
is.
You know,
Selling
Warm, you
songs.
also the only dumbass wearing a both of y'all wearing a hoodie.
Well,
I knew better.
Doja Cat, Scarlet. So yeah.
Scarlet, what else we talking about? We're talking about...
We're going to talk about Meek Mill and Rick Ross's
their
Shaq
latest
and
single,
Kobe.
Shaq and Kobe. Yachty and J. Cole's latest song, The Secret Recipe.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, man. Whatever else you listening to? You know,
I
I know we
mean-
were supposed to talk about Diddy, but we had to get.
But
Diddy
y'all
on the last
knocked that out
episode.
already. I saw
It
that.
was
I
just
was
too
like,
much. It was
Yeah.
too popping. We had
It was too
we
popping.
had to hop
It
on
was
it.
too popping.
I was listening to the episode. I was like, y'all act like I didn't just text y'all. Like, so.
Well, you know what?
So the hell with what I'm talking about.
We was
right?
recording like
Cool.
2 days after we was having
Right,
that.
right,
Bro,
right.
we just
Yeah,
talked about
we
this.
gotta talk about the Diddy.
But-
man.
but-
it was
but-
pretty good. It was pretty good.
But you know, we live in the future, so I understand here to now content and
Yeah.
having to
Yeah,
get that
yeah,
shit
yeah.
out. So,
Yeah.
although I felt a certain kind of way about it, y'all didn't hear about it until
yeah.
now.
But no,
I wasn't mad enough to hit y'all line
Yeah.
about it.
Right. let's talk about Doja though, man. Scarlet.
Oh my God,
This
Cat
is
barred
her-
up on this thing. I'm so happy that she felt the need or felt compelled to come back to just rhyming.
Yeah.
Cause
I'm
things-
happy to see
things-
her come back.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't know.
no, Doja
that
Doja
she
been
been
nice.
spitting.
I know her because my daughter loved Say So like last year or 2 years ago. That was like her.
And
Oh,
that.
yeah.
and,
I mean?
and you got that poppy, you got
She been in her pop bag.
some of that R&B thing. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like, but Doja showed up with bars, and I found myself loving those songs where she was actively grinding that axe that she had when she was saying, you know what, you've been talking down about me. I got bars for you. Specifically, Looks Like We Don't Give a Shit. Name of the song is 97, but I call it Looks Like We Don't Give a Shit.
Yeah.
But she does it in a way like it's specifically hers.
Yeah.
Like she gives you bars, but she also gives you that sense of humor. Like when she was like, "You look like a butterface, butter body, butter toes." I'm like, only you could get it. I couldn't spit that and be taken seriously.
Yeah.
But Doja can,
Yeah.
because that's that range.
She's good with a comedic value, right?
Exactly.
Like and it's not like anybody but her own. So yeah, specifically like a song like Attention, where she's talking about you want this attention, well now you got it. Talking about she said in one song how like me replying to you got you that blue check. Like I'm
Facts.
I'm like, oh
Yes.
like you know what I'm saying?
There's a lot of spite in this project, and I like it.
Yeah,
Cat
I've been relating it to how Kendrick did the Control verse. This whole album is like Control because she's like, see, Kendrick named names. Doja's not naming names unless they like the Twitter.
She called out a couple Twitter
did.
people.
She did.
Like I forget, it was like Hilda Patinkin.
Pataki,
Yeah,
something like
Pataki,
that,
yeah.
But she's just demolishing women. Like or not women, but the haters. And trying to silence everybody. And from the beginning, she had a tweet a few months ago saying that she was done with the pop stuff.
Yeah, she was like, I'm
She's
going back to
in her
rap.
bag.
And bro, I still have that tweet fade because I was like, this is news.
Right.
This is news I could use, baby.
Yeah.
Right. And so, she's in her bag, man. She's getting off, you know what I'm saying?
favorite songs.
Man, I like, she got her early pop rap songs with Paint the Town, Demons.
That
STG.
sample, I'm sorry, that Dionne Warwick sample is killer, man. I could spit ABCs to that beat and go number one on Billboard.
True.
It's hard to botch that, and that's not being dismissive of Doja. But there's you could literally pass gas on that beat
Right,
and have
right.
a hit. It's
Poopity
crazy.
scoop.
Right. She getting her hip hop bag in '97.
That 90s, it is crazy because the first time I heard
That's a hip-hop
97,
joint.
when that beat kicks off, it's like, what the hell am I listening to? It took Doja to start riding that thing.
Yeah.
I'm not pausing that because
Yeah.
call me.
Yeah.
I have time.
Yeah.
But once she hopped on that beat and started, once she found that pocket, I was like, okay, now the beat makes sense, and also bars.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like Go Off. This is another pop rap joint.
That's definitely the woman empowerment, but that's also
Yeah.
acknowledging that she definitely bats
Right.
from both sides of the
Right.
plate. And you know what? I'm with that. I like the energy there. You know what I'm saying?
She get in more of her hip hop bag with Can't Wait. It's classic
That's-
boom bap.
Oh my God.
I can't wait
That
to
joint
get next to you.
tough.
Yeah, hard. She getting her Neo Soul live band bag with Often. And then, like her classic, I feel like it's like a Rhapsody classic female empowering MC on Love Life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Love Life is one of, like, I was walking through downtown yesterday, and I kept Love Life on like a endless loop because she was like, I love when my tits sit well, I love when my fans speak French, and it's like just acknowledging those small things in life is something that I'm a huge proponent of. Just by everybody. It ain't, you ain't got to be famous, rich, a whole damn black bear baron, artist, or anything. Just, you know, acknowledge the small things in life and,
True.
you know, enjoy those and take solace and pride in those things.
That's what's up.
She got Attention, Balut,
Oh my God.
which is like another straight
hard.
rap.
So hard.
And then WYM Freestyle, she go hard too.
Mm-hmm.
She is a chameleon in this way. She bodied the pop R&B lane, like the pop lane. She did her thing with that. Her last album, Planet Her, did numbers.
Major numbers.
I mean, she's been in this pop bag, and she did that.
Mm-hmm.
On this rap album, I'm gonna consider it rap.
This is very much a rap album.
She has pop rap, traditional hip hop.
She
rap.
has her
got
take on Pox,
Neo.
Me and My Girlfriend
Yeah,
with
yeah.
the gun
Yeah,
joint.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
she's got
oh,
I like
she's
that.
a
There's
chameleon in that
range.
way. You know what I'm saying? Her range.
there's range
Her
there.
range.
And that's one thing I've always respected about Doja.
Yes,
Like, there's range.
yes.
You can do
Her range,
when you have
man.
the ability to literally do whatever your mind fucking comes. Like,
Yeah.
you can't front on that
Yeah.
because
That's-
not everybody has that.
And that's where I think she needs to be respected. You know what I'm saying? She could do any. I like Doja because of her ability to take control of her destiny, her own career. She don't care about what you got to say about her. She shaved her head. She-
Shaved her eyebrows and then
Right.
painted them on. Like that.
Like,
that happened. Like,
she doing her, and she's unapologetic about it. You know what I'm saying? She's unapologetic, and she going hard, man. And I like that, man.
Absolutely.
my joint is also in addition to 97. That Shut Show.
Oh yeah,
That's my joint.
Yeah, shut your goofy ass up.
We're gonna deem that the Chicago anthem. I'll probably put that in a couple stories about just things I don't like happening in society.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put like a media article and then I'll post it for my story. There you go. Yeah, that's something.
True.
You know, we love to call a motherfucker
Yeah.
goofy in Chicago. Shut your goof ass out of here.
Meek
Shut your goof
Mill
ass up.
and
Right.
Meek Mill and Rick Ross went back, man. So first of all, they actually are working on a joint project right now.
All right.
And I think what they're trying to do, Meek Mill had posted a couple days ago around you know announcing the song was coming out. Yo, if y'all missed that MMG sound. So first of all, that was almost 20 years ago. Like we getting up there. Like,
Right.
bro,
That's
Trilla
true.
came out in
Y'all getting up
2008.
there. I'm getting better. I'm like a
Okay,
Merlot.
you-
I'm aging well, man.
I
I'm
hear you.
fucked up.
The Shaq and Kobe joint, you know, kind of commemorating the whole MMG sound that's, you know, been around for a long time. But, you know, kind of going back into that. I like the song. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
Big fan.
Pretty good.
Yeah, it
fan.
just it sounds like that music that we used to get from them on them mixtapes, the Teflon Dons, the Trilla, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I mean, I'm rocking with it. As
Those early self-made tapes, you know what I'm saying?
Maybe
But what did I
music.
tell you? When I hit the group chat, I was like, man, this shit harder than AP Calculus, baby.
Yeah.
I'm all about
Tough.
this. And it was crazy because normally when I hear new music, I'm hearing it through Spotify is my streaming app of choice. I don't care what you stream, but just stream. But
True.
it was one of those rare instances where the first time I heard the song, I was actually getting ready to leave the house, so I had MTV Jams on. So I saw the visual.
Oh,
And that visual was hard. Like Ross's demeanor is just like,
Yeah. Right. All in the.
and so the song hit different for me looking in this man's eyes while he's sitting here in the camera. I wish I could roll up on you, but I'm sitting and I'm comfortable. But he is like in your face and just like talking that stick talk. And I'm not going to pause that either because I'm an adult. Pauses for tape recorders.
how you feel about it? You like it?
Nah, I mean it is that classic sound. I've heard this from them before. I think it's all right. You know what I'm saying?
So you're not feeling it as hard as I am.
I'm not.
Pause for tape recorders.
I'm not like blown away by it,
It just, I feel like it takes me back to a
That's
space.
me
but I definitely feel you on
me
that.
on that, yeah.
It definitely goes back to that era. I might be in a different headspace. You know what I'm saying?
Understood.
I might be in a different headspace. We could segue into
how
Yachty-
J. Cole
Yachty
is the
and J.
greatest
Cole.
fucking rapper in the world
Yeah,
right now.
because with that joint, I definitely feel a different energy.
You know what annoys me about Jermaine?
Yeah.
How easy he makes this shit look.
Yeah, man.
Like, bro, you make me
good.
think I could be an MC, and I got some bars for that ass. Like,
He's
I'm nicer
good.
than most, but
He's
Jermaine makes anybody think they
Yeah.
can do this shit because it looks so
it's effortless shit at this point.
Bro,
Yeah.
he's like, this got to be the best verse of the year.
Ooh.
Like, the man is going crazy.
We should do that, by
It's
the way.
a long verse. It's like a minute.
It's October. We just
It's
got
like
here.
it's a
We
minute
only
and
got
a
2
half.
months left.
It's a minute
I know.
and a half.
We should do
What else has dropped this
That's my
year?
point.
What else has dropped
That's
this
my
year?
point.
I hear you.
That's my point.
But the thing is like, it's so many layers to his verse. Now Yachty got off too, and Yachty don't even be.
I'm not a
Yachty
boat.
was
I'm
alright.
not going. Full disclosure,
Come
I'm not a
on,
boat guy.
I like
I'm
Yachty
not a
though.
boat
I
guy.
just don't like his voice, man. His voice annoys me.
That's what it is. Like the same
If
way
he had
like
rapped the
people
whole
feel about
verse-
Freeway, I feel about
If he had
Yachty. I'm
rapped
like
the
his
whole
voice
verse,
ain't it for me.
If you had to rap the whole verse in the way he went on the last half of the verse,
Yeah.
instead of the I'd have been good.
Allegedly.
The switch in cadence just
Right.
completely
But no, he
ruined
did
it
get
for
off.
me.
He did. This is.
I like Yachty. I like Yachty.
Yeah.
I've been telling people about Yachty, man, from his first mixtape, man. It wasn't. He had to kind of get his footing, but Yachty is a force.
I mean, you could say the same
Behind
thing.
closed doors.
May he rest his shit. Mac Miller. You could see the improvement from project to project.
Mac's
And
last-
Boat is the same way, even though I'm nobody's Boat fan, but you can
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
see tangible growth and tangible improvement in your shit.
Yeah.
And I always respect that because that's what it's
But
all
yeah,
about.
Cole
Growth and
got off,
development.
though. Yeah, Cole got off though, man.
Where can they drink this beer?
So Funkin for Jamaica is available here at the Surly Confines in Nisei Lounge, as well as Sketchbook Evanston and Skokie. We're gonna have a couple kegs over at the homies with Bitter Pops over on Lincoln and Paulina.
Gang.
I mean, that's gang right there. Shouts to Nick,
Mike, we
Mike,
right there.
all the homies over there. You already know what time it is. Also at Monk's Pub, again, shouts to them for allowing us to curate and host an amazing event this past Thursday. And then, that's pretty much it. There will be a couple of locations that will shake, but this is a very limited release. We didn't want this everywhere because, again, it's one of those proof of concept things where the proof is going to be in the pudding and people coming out to find this beer as opposed to us putting this beer in people's face.
Gotcha.
Beard Simple's also down.
Okay.
Never fail to shout out the homies at Beard Simple. Make sure you get your ass up on Elston by Belmont in California.
Word up.
True.
Black Beer Baron, OT the Golden Child. Come on, kiddo. BEERZ BARZ. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Peace.
There it is.